Yeah, man. Apple, in all of their buffoonery, managed to drop a pair of headphones for $550. And the world goes mad. Find out why. Check us out. Good? Cool. What is the deal, people? It's your boy Tawann, aka the King's Guard, back in the building. I'm here with none other than...
My name is Ramon.
It's 2020. The month is December. And we are knee-deep in 2020's buffoonery. And what does Apple do but release yet another announcement? And this is for... One more thing, and this is the Apple Airpod Max. Now, listen, I saw it, and you know me, I'm an audiophile, so anything sound and that has a potential to sound good, I'm all in. I'm ears in, and I want to know what it's like. So, I'm like, okay, I checked them out. And what they did was they offered a it's funny that I'm saying this, a pre-order. Press F in the chat for if you've heard where we've said pre-order before. So they let you pre-order it, and had I pre-ordered it when the pre-order was released, I would have gotten it, I'd say sometime around the latest December 24th, right in time for Christmas.
So you are trying to acquire these things?
Yes. Okay. I think I am. I wouldn't mind having my hands on them to see, how they fare.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, I missed it. It was on my list. I wasn't going to buy them, so I put them on my Christmas list. But you know how the woman is never as on point with certain things as the man. So I'm like, whatever. It's no huge rush. Well, what does it sound like? Godzilla is walking across the my neighborhood.
I actually heard that.
Anyway, yeah, you heard it too, right?
Yeah.
This is annoying, but anyway. So the pre-order, I want to say, actually they're available now. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're available now. So, I think we did the do, and I should have them soon.
Okay.
Now everyone's talking. I'm not into reviews, because when it comes to sound, always what one person hears isn't necessarily what another person hears.
Sure.
There are a lot of factors that go into how sound is processed by one human to another. You know, there are channels in your ear that are not like a fingerprint. No ear and ear channel to your canal is the same.
Right.
So again, how you register sound may differ person to person. So, but I'm hearing great things about the AirPod Max, except for the price. There were a little moans. I won't say screams and just blasphemy, but more of the, why are you pricing these headphones at $550 when I could just invest an additional $400 and get really, really, really good sounding headphones for $1,000. I believe JBL offers them. It's a headphones for $1,000. It connects into kind of a unit that processes the sound.
Yeah.
And
those get
blah,
crazy.
blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but I'm spending $550 for your aluminum and a case that looks like a pocketbook. And the only way that I can charge it is to plug it up. Meanwhile, in this case, and that's the case shuts them off. And it's just like, there was a lot of drawbacks that I think people saw to the headphones.
Sure.
And I'm just like, yeah,
sure.
I can understand where they're coming from. But I mean, what say you about all of this Apple and their headphones? And
I find myself in a very uncomfortable situation these days.
I'm sure you do.
Not finding gripe with shit Apple does gripes me.
Yeah,
yeah.
You're bitten from the forbidden fruit, sir.
Son, I don't have an issue with these headphones or price. So yeah. I want to put some context to it.
Mm-hmm.
When these headphones I'm wearing, these are technically Beats Studios, I think they're called.
Those those are studios,
right? And these were like what, $350?
Yeah, those were $399 actually.
Well, not specifically these.
Oh yeah, yeah. But the model headphones were $399.
These here are a subtle flex. Fendi Beats, you can have at it in Google when you get a chance.
Yeah, press F in the chat, huh?
Let me flex it. I don't flex much anymore.
Yeah.
So when these came out, how much was a phone?
About 500.
So
give or take 5, 6.
The headphones,
7.
The headphones were $400. A phone was about $500 to $700. That's where we were at the time,
right?
And there was no shortage of studio headphones. DJs would use them. You'd see fly boys, dope boys wearing them. You know, your high school kids would have the Beats Pro or some version of Beats, but they wouldn't have these. But if they could, you know, this was the big boy, but people had them. It wasn't a problem. People spent for them. It wasn't about the sound,
right? Because
they don't sound particularly awe-inspiring. They do have a very nice bass note, which, you know, works for the type of music that I listen to, that you listen to.
Right.
I'm talking Phil Collins era. They sound nice.
Right.
At the time, no one was arguing, do they sound $400 nice, as if $400 was just like astronomical. This is ridiculous. That was almost like, what, 10 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
So here we are today in this world where it's totally acceptable to pay $1,300 for your phone.
Mm-hmm.
And the price of entry for headphones have not moved. So much so, you know, the big boys in the industry are coming in cheaper at $300. You have your Sony, you have your Bose. They're the two that are going back and forth with the wireless Bluetooth thing, with the ANC, active noise cancellation, and that's $300. And I think people got complacent. People forgot to do their market research, because there are other headphones out there that are more than $400 or $300 that are selling quite well.
Absolutely.
And people just got back in their shell, because that's what we do, right? Like, when you talk about luxury cars, there's only BMW and Mercedes, whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, when you talk about cell phone, there's only Android and there's only iOS. Like, no one's looking at a market from a broad stand. Like, here comes Apple at a time when you're spending $1,200, $1,300 for your phone, and the headphone equivalent is $550.
Right.
But 10 years ago, you were spending $700 for your phone and $400 for the headphones. There's a ratio there that I think is still respected today.
Yeah.
So I don't get who the fuck is complaining about. Like, if you're complaining about this price, my man, it isn't for you. It's that argument of someone saying, you spent how much for that BMW to go to the grocery store? But we go to the grocery store in two completely different experiences. It's not for you.
I listen, I agree with what you're saying with how you're saying it. So now I'm going to give you the opposite side or play devil's advocate.
Can I make it more difficult for you before you go?
Go.
Then there's a ton of shit that Apple did. This fucking thing's got 11 mics.
Yes.
Motherfuckers is using this shit in the middle of traffic. You can't hear anything. People are hearing their voice. Like when you put it in pass-through mode so you hear the environment, they're saying it's almost as if you're not even wearing headphones. That is no small feat. Then there's things engineered in a way where everyone's reporting back that they're wearing it for hours on end and they can't feel it. It's engineered to stick on your head and not be obtrusive. Yo, these shits that I'm wearing, these are $1,200 headphones that I'm going to take off as soon as we're done this podcast. Because these shits are gripping the fuck out of my head and they can't cause a headache. So when I'm doing a long flight, I traveled a lot for work. I can only get through about an hour and a half on a 3, 4 hour, 5 hour flight. I can't wear them much longer. I need to take a break. Not the same with Apple's doing Apple shit. So to me, they've justified their cost over and over and over again. I'm going to jump out.
All right. Arguably, this is always person to person. I can't necessarily say that it's subjective, what I'm about to say. So when you talk Bose and you talk, like, honestly, Bose and Beats by Dre should never be placed in the same category. So
Agreed.
When you talk headphones, there are categories of headphones. All right. There are low-end headphones. They usually come with a wire. It's usually one wire. They're not Bluetooth, but they work with a phone if you have a 3.5 on it. They produce, they're okay when it comes to bass, but long-term, prolonged use, you're gonna blow a driver, or you're gonna get distortion from a driver. Cool, that's your low end. Then you have, just like phones, you have your mid-tier, which would encompass Bose, or your upper low tier would be Beats by Dre. Not solely for price, because Beats by Dre, you were always paying for the name more so than you were paying for the quality and product.
Yeah.
All right. So now, sure, they're Bluetooth, they are wire or not wire, which it plays a part, and they are compatible with phones. You can use it with your phones. You got your phone, put it in your pocket, and you go. Now you start talking quality audio. So now you got the Sonys, those famous Sonys that are a thing. You have Bose, that is a thing.
Yeah, and those two compete very closely.
Yes, you now have Microsoft throwing their hat into.
I quite like those.
Yes, they are on version 2 now, and
I quite like them.
They're still. People are arguing, just to speak on that one headphone. People are arguing that the noise cancellation isn't as good as the Sony. However, they're really good. Like,
I don't need it. Somebody's not going to be as good as somebody. I don't care.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, as long as it's there and it works.
Absolutely. So, and those are priced at what is the price on those?
I thought those were
$350
or $350.
$350, give or take. So now you have Apple throwing their hat in, and I'm going to disregard the AirPods and the AirPod Pros that arguably are overpriced for the pros, but I'm gonna
I could even argue different to that. I don't even know who I am as a person anymore.
We gonna have to. You have to see a doctor after this one. So now you have Apple throwing in their over-ear answer to Sony. So Sony, I'm gonna tell you, those headphones, I forget what the model number is, but when you say Sony over ear or on ear noise cancellation headphones, the ones that I'm talking about always come up. So those headphones are the ones to kill. All right, in that price range, in that number, they're also about $350,
right,
pushing $4. All right. So now, arguably, I guess enough people, I know Marquis said it, Your Average Gamer said it,
Your Average Consumer.
Average Consumer. He's Average Gamer is him too, but he's just.
Is it really?
Game.
I didn't know he had a gamer one.
Yeah, Your Average Gamer. What's the boy's name that does unbox therapy?
Lou
said. So that I didn't go Mr. Mobile. I didn't hear his.
It was good.
But these people are saying these headphones might have dethroned Sony's for noise cancellation.
Yeah, for sure.
On top of that, you now have this 3D virtual, what do they call it?
Spatial audio.
The spatial audio
Mm-hmm.
that is good in the AirPods Pro, but really awesome in these
next
headphones.
level.
So now here's to your point, that next level that says, yo, these are the have to get headphones. However, now there's another echelon that I might not have spoke on there that gets that the spec for these headphones starts to get into when you're talking high echelon headphones. And this is where I kind of lose in my argument and gain in my argument. So this is how I gain in my argument. At $550, these headphones that are priced competitively to the higher echelon headphones, these headphones that are DAC based and provide sound like no other. Like these are headphones that cost $900.
Yep.
My pops had a pair of $800 headphones that he would not let me hold, and that was back then.
Yeah.
This was 80s, $600, $700, $800 headphones. Now, wood construction, all of that stuff, that's priced at that high tier. You have, like I said prior to, the $1,000 JBLs that when you're watching a movie and you don't want to disturb anyone in a household are as good as your home theater.
Big deal.
Big deal for $1,000. That's a win in that aspect. However, when you have a person that has a bankroll that can support $1,800 to $1,000 headphones, and then you have persons that don't have a bankroll to support a $550 headphone, they set squarely in a place where it's too much for the average buyer and too little for the enthusiast.
Sure.
So now it's like, how do you make money off of something that's too much for somebody too much for the Bose consumer and the Beats by Dre consumer, and too little for the creme de la creme that's looking at this? I don't want these $500 Apple headphones.
This bargain bin shit.
That could barely sustain my level of opera music.
You need to watch Hamilton, by the way.
You keep telling me
You
this.
need to watch Hamilton, son. I keep fucking telling you, you need to watch Hamilton.
And it's showing up, and I think I have. I no, I didn't. I'm going to add it to my list of watch.
Son. Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
So this is my argument. It's not necessarily an argument against
I got you.
Apple headphones. It's where this
where does it land?
This peripheral, this lands squarely in between, and it forces people to have to think about this purchase.
Now,
why am I buying this? Will this be as good as my top tier, or do I have the budget to buy a $550 pair of headphones? See, I can do the plan thing with the phone and get the $1,000 phone and spend $45 a month for the phone. But this is $550 out of pocket.
Yeah.
Boom. Gone.
I think the answer to that question or that argument is buried in the logic behind this thing. Mm-hmm. So let's reconstruct who this is and is not for.
Mm-hmm.
AirPod Maxes are not for the Bose and Sony consumer.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that not talking about feature set. I'm not talking about active noise cancellation. I'm not talking
see exactly where you're going.
Right. I'm not talking about Bluetooth wireless. I'm not talking about sound quality, because both of those fucking headsets are ugly as fuck. Right, there's no pizzazz. There's no design work. They look like headphones.
Right.
The Apple AirPod Max is for the motherfucker who would like to have whatever Sony and Bose do as a baseline, but he wants a more sophisticated, timeless design. He wants someone to look at something and be like, oh, that's premium. Someone somewhere spent hours thinking about how it should look and feel and function. That's what separates the AirPod Max from let's call it the baseline premium headset crowd right now. The Sonys and the Bose. Now, going up the ladder, them motherfuckers up there with their 800, 900, 10.
Yeah.
All they care about is sound quality. They don't give a fuck how big these things are, because they are huge.
Yeah.
And
but a bit ugly too.
And they're ugly, and they can't work without DACs and all of this crazy shit. This is not something that they leave the house with.
Right.
Right? All they care about is sound quality. And fine, get it however you can get it. Much like race cars. We don't give a fuck about power steering. We don't care about air conditioning. We just want to go as fast as fucking possible. Take the speakers out the car. Take the goddamn power windows out. All we're here to do is go as fast as possible. Right. Fair enough. Apple is saying, nah, fam, we can get you some nice sound, but you can wear these all day and not feel like you got two fucking buckets on your ears. You can wear these all day and not be tethered to a thick ass 3.5 millimeter cable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and in those cases, it's actually the full 1 inch.
Right. And looking in both directions, Apple is saying, yeah, whatever, fam. You could wear these shits all day and not feel it, which is a problem for both the Bose and the Sony and the high-end shit.
Right.
They solved the problem that everybody has. And then they're saying to themselves, and look how beautiful they are. And look how effortless it is to use it with your phone, given the fact that you're in the walled garden, right? So there's a lot that I see how Apple kind of threw themselves right in the middle. And it's interesting to see Apple did that, because if, according to me, these things are fucking steal. They could have charged $600 to $650. Yeah. And I still would have been like, all right, cool. Because that whole spatial audio thing, which is something that the Bose and the Sony can't compete with on the lower end.
Right. Right.
Who's to say they can't software engineer a version of that to attack the sound quality you get from the higher level? Remember,
and this is a thing.
Computational photography is real. There's all spatial audio is computational
audio. And that's where it's marketed at. It's computational audio. This is where it's so. Remember, I started this off. I said, listen, there's an argument to be had for the validity of these headphones, and there's an argument to be had for is it a niche?
Right.
Is it necessary? We don't need it, what have you, or those people that feel that way. And I never sat squarely on either or with an argument, because I said I wanted them.
Right.
But I still
what
felt
you want
like
is what you want.
They were a little overpriced. They were a little overpriced, but I still want them. So now you have to let's kill some brain cells here, right? We have this device. First of all, Apple, if you know Apple as a company, they're for bending rules and carving lanes. I can kind of sort of say wholeheartedly. Apple is the ones that did it their way. Even at the expense of saying, you consumer, you don't know what you want. Here, let me show you.
Yep, this is what you want. I'll tell you what you want.
I'll tell you what you want. This is what you want. It's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary when you think about that type of thinking. When you're telling the consumer, it's some would think it arrogant. We thought it arrogant to say, how are you, a company, going to tell me what I want? Yeah, it's simple. You create it and you put it out there and say, here, just use this. And then you turn around and tell me that what I created wasn't simple enough for you.
Yeah, they got a ton of examples of that in their history.
So now here along comes these headphones that gives you the sound quality of some high-end shit, is better than your low-end shit, and they've carved out a price that it would be the cost of a new Xbox Series X. I agree. But when you want it and you want you want that great listening, you don't have to spend $1,000 for it.
Yeah. I think these things are a steal.
Yeah, there are arguments on both sides, but you essentially land back at, this is what Apple wants you to have. They are, for all intents and purpose, delivering on what they say these headphones can do. Spatial audio, noise cancellation, and the other one with everyone can hear you.
Yeah.
Or you can hear everything.
Yeah.
These are over-the-ear headphones. These are like the ones I'm wearing right now. Over-the-ear, I can't really hear. Everything is muffled now. They're saying when you turn these headphones on with the ability to hear things, it's just like you're talking with nothing on.
Yeah.
You have, like, you.
Yeah. And this is to strengthen your point. To strengthen your point, Apple's approach to these things, I think, are usually better than other companies.
Yeah.
So the tech end of this is the AirPods has got like 11 speakers, 11 microphones around it. And that's how active noise cancellation works, or the opposite, where it allows you to hear the entire environment. So the more microphones you have, the more finite control and with great accuracy you can control either of those scenarios. And then the second piece to their approach is what they've been doing with wearables. This is a wearable. And each of the drivers on the AirPod Max have its own fucking processor. That is key. That is something that we've seen them do on the AirPod Pros and the original AirPods. And it wasn't until I got a few different truly wireless Bluetooth buds that I noticed the night and day difference. Because these things were just Bluetooth, right?
Right.
And most of the Bluetooth that you buy on the Bluetooth truly wireless earbuds you buy in the market, you can only use it in one ear. And what I mean by that is one, like the right bud is the primary bud.
Yes.
So if you can use the right bud to talk on the phone, but you can't use the left. Because the left is only, let's say it's a dumb pairing to the right.
Right.
It's fucking annoying. So if the right ear dies and the left ear has full charge, you still can't use it because you need the right ear. This sounds so strange to someone who uses AirPods. Like, wait, what? That's retarded.
Yeah.
And it is. And it is. So this is why the competition is charging $30 and Apple's charging $100. There's a fucking difference. And I've seen using the original AirPods for a while, like one dies, put the other in.
Right.
There's no pairing issues. There's no fucking, I could walk from here to the front door and it still connects because it's much stronger tech. You know what I mean? It's not relying truly on Bluetooth. And there's a lot of that they took to the next level in the AirPod Max. So like
it's borderline Wi-Fi Bluetooth.
Right. You're paying for this. And and you can, the proof is in the pudding. It's head and heels better than what Sony and Bose are doing. You get what I'm saying? Like
I absolutely. And
so what's like, what's your margin? What's the margin you're giving a premium product that's better?
Yeah.
I feel like people aren't being fair. Like, fam, it's better. So how much more better? 150? I'd say so, especially after they solve the problem with over-ear headsets, which is comfortability.
Yeah. Over-ear headsets.
So I can't tell you a pair I've ever owned that's comfortable for the long term. They solved that issue. There's some gaming ones that are comfortable, but what I say, they're gaming. They got all type of fucking crazy designs. It's not meant to go outside. You can't go on a train with it.
Like I could probably get away with these going on because it's very streamlined.
Right. And it's monotone.
Yeah, but I don't want to wear these out there.
Right.
But those, and
then they got the lifestyle shit in there.
Yeah.
My man, when you walk into the room with a pair AirPod Max, you are one of one.
Yes, they're going to see them. They're going to be like, wait,
what are we putting? What are we? And I don't want to hear this. Oh, that's some Apple bullshit. Because, as of today, January 5th, if you own a PlayStation, you're one of one. You understand what I'm saying? So people like that exclusivity factor. Well, then here you go. Here's some wild exclusive shit. $550? I don't find it to be ridiculous, fam. I don't. And understand, it's not fair to look at this and say, Apple's out here releasing $500 headphones in a recession. Well, they just released $1,400 phone in a recession. Was you bitching and moaning?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what? Like Microsoft launched a fucking $500 console. Was you bitching and moaning? Sony launched one too. BMW just launched a fucking $140,000 car. Like what? What does that mean?
Yeah, at this point in time, I for me, I'm feeling like using the excuse, well, it's a pandemic going on. It's just that's for individuals at this point in time. That's like, all right, you understand the humility behind the pandemic,
right?
But there's still an aspect called the business side of it, and operational costs. And listen, we still must stay afloat. We have to tread on like we are not in a pandemic, because if we succumb to pandemic thoughts, then guess what? We will fold just like everyone is during a pandemic, or who has folded. So it's just like, I'm more to the ideology that here's I led with the whole
features
hold
and
up,
sound
these
quality.
Yeah, but no, I could say I led with the idea that, hold up, these are $550 headphones during a pandemic. But then I had to say, I have to look at this from a different perspective.
Look at shit for what it's worth. Like, look at this. You see that beautiful thing? You know, what would you say is the price of this?
I mean, I know the price.
You know the price. It's a fucking $80 cigar cutter.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to be like,
why do you need an $80 cigar cutter?
You know why? Because my kids will have this.
Yeah.
You understand? And I know that I'll get my money's worth out of this versus I can't even look at this. Here's what
I was looking for mine.
Here's what it's replacing.
Yeah.
That I got to fight.
Piece, that piece on the edge where you pull it out, pause. All right, the piece that you're holding I think your right hand. Mm-hmm. No, yes, that piece on that side.
Yeah.
The little tip. That shit breaks off.
So it does. And now I'm fucked.
It broke on mine.
And now I can't cut my cigar. Or it's ruined my cigar.
Nope.
Son, I am livid when that shit happens, fam.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah,
like you
son.
There you go.
So hold on. Is this it? It might be. It might be this one.
Lord,
because I have a couple of them.
Son, don't. You get what I'm saying, son. I don't trust. Son. I don't trust my cigars with cheap ass cutters and lighters, and I don't trust my comfortability and my listening experience with cheap shit. Now, I'm not saying the Bose and the Sony wouldn't be good for me, because they would. But all I'm saying is, here comes a product that's iterating on what they offer, and it totally gets a pass to me.
And here's how I rationalize it. If I can spend, and I do this with a lot, if I can spend $400 on a pair of Bose headphones, I can spend an additional $150 on because
exactly
if the argument was the headphones are $500 more than what I'm spending, then no.
Right. Now we wildin'. But how much were you willing to spend?
How much am I willing to spend?
You're going to spend $350? Okay. Are you getting $150 more for your money? Yes.
And that's where the argument starts.
Then we can consider it.
Right. Hey, for device to device, this is right here is 300. 350. I'll give it 350 because I think the Beats by Dre, either Pro or DJs, one of them I wanted was fucking expensive. And I would say it was like $399, $400, something like that. And they sound like shit, but they were the hot new shiny.
They are a cultural item.
Right. So here's that. Now here is Apple releasing something that is actually physically technologically better.
Yeah.
Technologically better than the Bose, than the Beats by Dre. Mm-hmm. And they're priced at $150. Now let's say I have the Beats by Dre and these are $150 more. That is not an upside down to me.
No, it's not. I agree.
An upside down would be, oh no, these are an additional $400 more than these headphones down here are. So now if they were $900, then I'd be like, go fuck yourself.
Right. That's why I think people who are willing to spend, people who own the Bose and the Sonys and even the Microsoft joints are looking at this like, how much? It's like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why. Greg and Daryl said some shit to me one time. I was just like, what? Volvo is a luxury brand.
Yeah.
And I was just how the fuck do you figure? So I went and did my research. It's Swedish luxury. Volvo is a
Yes.
luxury brand. Do you know why you don't see Volvos on the street? Because no one wants the features of luxury that you don't know is luxury. Everybody wants a Mercedes, a BMW, a Audi,
Jaguar,
a Lexus.
Audi.
Like, no,
Yeah.
I want you to know it's luxury.
Mm-hmm.
So the motherfucker who's already spending luxury prices at $300, you're no better than the person who's saying, yeah, but I want people to know. You're already doing it. You're
Right.
already doing it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
an extra $200 shouldn't faze you. But asking a motherfucker who only has $50 to spend $300 or $400 or $500, you're asking for a lot.
Yeah, and it may not be for them.
May not be for them.
They may be iPods Pro type of person.
So now
and
I'm
maybe
looking
not an iPods Max type of person.
I'm looking at all these Volvo owners looking at Apple like, you motherfuckers has lost your mind. Fam, you already bought into luxury. You already spent over $50,000 for a car.
Yeah.
You get what, like, you're not in that. You're not part of that conversation that's like, I'm going to spend $12,000 for a car to get to part A to B. You already way above that. So don't pretend like you're not.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's weird, son, but I got no beef with the Apple shit. I'll probably put them on my birthday list. Yeah,
man. I'm definitely in engaged with the Apple, the AirPod. I didn't get this fucking name right. The AirPod Max.
Max.
And everything is either Pro or Max.
I keep calling it Pro Max, AirPod Pro Max, but that's like, next year.
Yeah, absolutely. So then I've invested $550, and now here comes a Pro Max.
Yeah,
and it does some. It grows wings and helps me levitate. Like, really?
Now we got to flip shit on Craigslist.
That is what pisses me off with Apple.
I agree.
But yeah, man, I can't. Again, I'm always for the argument. But I have my mind fixated or my feelings towards something well before the argument.
Right.
And we have to argue it. This is what we have to do.
We got to hash it out.
You know what I'm saying? We got to hash it out. We got to figure out where something like this belongs, where it lands, who is it for? Because this is what no one else is talking about.
Yeah.
They're just saying, hey, they really sound good. I know it's a lot of money, but they really sound good.
Yeah, to me,
Apple.
That's the part that doesn't matter, because if I can interject Snow's perspective on it while he's on break,
hiatus.
Snow is always like, for him, the $200 to $300 range price point is good for him, because that's the limit of what his ear can distinguish.
Right.
And I think that's the same for a lot of us. You have a better threshold than me, because you know that's your thing. Just like, so for instance, you would never go and spend $1,000 for a monitor to get accurate colors. The fuck do you care about? But I would see the difference, and I would never spend $1,000 for a pair of headphones because I can't hear the difference, but you would. So I Snow's part of it.
Spend a lot of money on a TV.
TV's a TV. But there's also that conversation of, you need to be aware of what your threshold is, and to how much you can really discern in the complexities of the drivers of the headphones.
Absolutely.
And it's not about just turning it up to max and being like, yeah, I don't hear any crackling. But then to beat the dead horse, there's a layer of a whole subset of things that Apple has done even with that. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Like, they're comfortable, they're beautiful.
Absolutely.
They work on another level with the spatial shit. There's all type of, it's a vibe. It's a lifestyle vibe. Like, let's not pretend again that you didn't buy a BMW for people to see that you own a BMW.
Yeah.
Right? So people that you see wearing this, I'm going to bet 99.9% of the motherfuckers who buy these headphones don't give a fuck about what they sound like. They're just happy they sound good.
and I have the new Apple headphones on and you don't. That's we sooner or later, we are going to get into a real deep dive about people and their ways of being. Sooner or later on this very podcast.
Yep.
People, and when one person has one thing and another person has another, and how each person feels having what they prospectively have. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there is a whole gamut of neurons that fire off when you walk into a BMW dealer versus someone, let's say me. Let's say I just used you and I, for example. There are a whole bunch of neurons that fire off for you when you walk into, say, a BMW dealer versus me that walks into a Cadillac dealer and see that vehicle that I want in Cadillac, and you see that vehicle that you, so at that initial moment when those neurons are firing and that serotonin is building up, and that all of that, those things that there's endorphins in the human body that gives us that excitement and that rush. However grand it is versus you or I, that's when we start to determine I got the shit.
Yeah.
And we start to believe that this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So now translate it back into headphones. Like, oh, I got these fucking headphones. I'm the shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not only am I the shit, but I am the shit first. Yeah, you can have them. It's that is a real conversation.
I think a lot of people don't like to acknowledge that part of themselves. We all have it. We all have it. It's not about money. It's not about status. We all have that one thing.
Yeah,
that just drives us, and it gives us great pride to allow it to drive us. And we want people to know that it drives us.
And I think failure to acknowledge that that is a part of human nature.
Yeah.
It's cavemen. When they bust a female Neanderthal in the head and drag her home, that's the visual that we all have. And drag her home. You have the other, listen, it starts with the fight over her.
Yeah.
Because now that's more of the same. She is the Apple that is before Apple becomes.
Agreed.
So now that's the Apple. I got her and I'm dragging her home. I got her and you guys don't.
You don't. I remember
this is all things.
I remember having this conversation with this young lady I was dating. This is many moons ago. I was in my 20s. And she was like, yo, why are you so materialistic? And I was just like, what the fuck did you say to me? And she was like, I don't get it. Why are you so material? I was like, yo, how could you say they lived their life wrong if you never fucked with the lights on? And she just was like you're just dumb. It's a Kanye. It's a Kanye line, right?
Yeah.
So I had to reconstruct this for, like, first of all, there's a level of security you have when you're fucking with the lights on.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking is not a sensual thing. Fucking is an animalistic thing. So you're not here to make love and be vulnerable. You're here to fucking put on and beat your chest. And you're doing it with the lights on. I want everybody in this motherfucker to see, including me.
Yeah.
Like,
and you.
Do you know what type of place you need to be in life to embody that type of, not arrogance, but self-awareness and confidence?
Because we have so many insecurities.
Right.
So cutting the lights off is also part of an insecurity. We don't want in our most vulnerable state, there is something about it that we don't want the other to see.
Son. And then she's like looking at me like she understood, but she didn't want to understand. And
Yeah,
I was
she's
just
fighting
like,
it.
you
It's
know,
conflict.
that BMW out there isn't just a BMW out there. That's a kid who came from another country and was bullied and made fun of and now has the Prada this, the Gucci that, the Louis this, and the Fendi to match because I fucking work hard for that.
Yeah.
And I didn't work hard for it in a monetary way. I worked hard to get rid of a psyche that I was less than. Bitch, you gonna see this BMW.
Yeah. Yeah.
Said I'll never take that away from anybody.
Yeah.
And we all have versions of it, but people like to rationalize their version versus my version because obviously their version's better and mine isn't. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yo, get your fucking, you look at these kids today, you know what's it for kids? It used to be Jordans. Jordan's a baseline now. Now it's AirPod Pros. Whatever, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't never gonna stop. It ain't never gonna stop. And who am I to take that away from someone day? And of course, there are people and there are parts of our lives, all of us, where we get shit that ain't meaningful to us, but it's meaningful to a lot of other people, and we take it for granted. There's that as well.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
It's like,
you know what I mean?
It's a whole.
But whatever. Whatever.
It's a whole spectrum. It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild how we attribute these I don't know, nuances for some, grandiose for others, per item.
Yeah.
Per, like,
right.
I'm setting.
It's assessed on a per thing basis.
Yes.
It's like, no, it's not. It's what I want.
It's what I want. I'm staring at on my. I found a Cadillac Escalade, the new one, a screensaver. Now, it's Cadillac Escalade is just my preference in a vehicle, right? I like the design. I like what it stands for. I like the comfortability. I like whatever.
The Chariot.
It's the Chariot, son. Now,
it's fucking Chariot.
It's not a Mercedes. Say another person can argue, well, a Mercedes
the G-Wagon
G63.
Yeah.
G63 is car for car a better vehicle to you.
Right.
And dynamically, it could be for me. But the Escalade is my G63.
Right.
For you, the G63 is your G63. This is now you attempting to sway my mind to what you feel is the better.
Because what you feel is better than what I feel about what I feel about.
And that is the arrogance.
Yeah.
Don't attempt to sway someone based on your ideas of a product.
Yeah.
But go about it in a way of saying, hey, I understand why you like that Escalade. And I understand why I like the this G63 wagon. I like because I may take this vehicle off-road. I know your vehicle is just too pretty for you to be driving off-road, and I'm almost certain you're not. Got it. You know I'm not. I am not.
Damn, they don't even drive in the rain.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I'm going to be on that off-road path, driving through and putting this lock differential to the test and getting through stuff and going through mud and whatnot. And I'm going to go to the car wash after the fact and wash it off, and I'm going to enjoy it. And that's fine for me. And you driving your Escalade, being like a king, like King Joffrey Joffre going through the streets, that's fine for you. That is fine with that big ass, pretty ass OLED screen. That is fine for you.
Absolutely.
That is super dope for you. That is the understanding that we should all, and we should never impose our feelings on what we think is better than the next person.
Sure.
Because then that breeds arrogance. And yeah, man, Apple and iPad and iPod.
I don't like this one bit.
Max.
Stood here for
like
an hour defending Apple.
Yeah, no.
I don't like this one bit.
This is why I attempted to start off with the build and helping me with the build and end off maybe talking about what we like.
Go
and
fuck
what
yourself,
I like versus
man. Go fuck yourself.
You know, fuck Apple. The
Yes.
fuck Apple bandwagon will always be here to stay. No matter how many Apple products I have in this one house, there is more Apple products in here than there are people.
Yeah.
But I digress.
I'm waiting for Tim Cook to fuck up so I can feel better about myself.
Yeah, man. So, yeah. So, hey, man, is there any more? I think we
summed it up.
Yeah, man.
AirPods ain't that crazy. Enjoy your life.
Ain't that crazy, but I'll have them. Hey, listen, if you are wondering where this where this audio can be found, all DSPs, all platforms. Where we at, son? Are we on SoundCloud yet, my man?
I don't know if it's worth it to be on SoundCloud. Somebody gotta hit the comments and let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Listen,
we're on iHeart, Spotify, Android.
iTunes, Android audio, Android. Android is everything. It's like
SoundCloud, huh?
SoundCloud. I don't know. Maybe you'll find us there sooner or later.
I'm not even sure if they have I think people just upload the audio there, but I don't think they have a podcast structure.
Yeah, I think that gets just audio uploaded. So
I'll look into it.
But anyway, on those places minus SoundCloud, you can find us there. All right. So listen. And if you want the video, you can find that on YouTube. So. It's your boy Tawann. I think I've talked a lot. Ramon, have you talked a lot? Are you done?
I'm done. I'm done.
I'm done too. We are out of here.
Peace.
Peace.